Alright, so when we first got there, it was like an hour and a half early, and there was a kind of longish line, and we got in it, obviously.
Okay, what she's trying to say is we were waiting in line for like a good hour and a half before like the doors of the thing actually opened before they let you in. And the funny thing is, girls were like asking to like go to the bathroom to get in early, but like you'd lose your spot in line. And then about 20 minutes, not really, yeah, 20 to 30 minutes before the doors actually open, Bart came down the line, and
The whole line just went really crazy.
yeah.
And so when he came down and he was like right by us, I was like, Bart, can I get a picture? And he didn't even look in my camera, so I just took pictures with him when he wasn't even looking. So
He
I
was
looked like an
rude.
idiot.
Like,
He really was. Like,
he only looked into
honestly.
like maybe 5 girls' cameras around
only if you
us.
walked up to him would he actually look in your camera.
Yeah,
But
and
I wasn't gonna lose my spot in line. So.
my selfie was bad in like the first place, so I don't think anybody really wants to
I was
see
like-
that. Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty
well,
funny.
I was like freaking out. Okay.
So yeah.
Anyways. And then when we got in, well, we were all like running up the line, like running to get in. And so when we got in, they had to scan our tickets. So I got my ticket scanned. And then I was running in there because I really wanted to get in because I was like really excited. And this lady like stopped me and she like grabbed my stomach and she like held me there. And she was like, you need to get your ticket scanned. I was like, I did. And so we ran in and you had some troubles with the baggage.
Yeah, because like we had a little bag thing full of things that we needed when we were there, and this girl that was checking my bag decided that she would just like stop me right before I was about to get in, and I was like, I got my ticket scanned, and she's like, no, you didn't. I was like, you don't know that. Like, I did. I actually did. And she's just rude. Like, all the security guards there were rude. They didn't even know how to like hold us back after that.
Okay. And then we had to go and run through this thing to get our wristbands. And then our cards. This has money on it. We didn't use them once. I was holding it upside down. But we didn't use them once because it was like a really crazy night. And so when we got in there, we saw a crowd like around the go-karting area. So we ran over there and they were on there. And I started like freaking out because like I didn't even believe they were there. Like it didn't seem like it was them, like that they were that close to us.
Let's just say that that when like you first see them like in person, you're like, that can't be them. That can't be them. I'm not that close to Nash Greer. I'm not that close to Cameron Dallas. And then finally, like, it clicked to me and Katie. It was just like, that's literally them. So
Just saying they're 100 times more attractive in person.
yeah, like if you look at their pictures and then you look at their pictures and then
Sorry.
okay, so you look at their pictures and then you see them in real life, and it's just like, whoa, like, I don't know. It just was so mind blowing to me. I just, can't shake that fact that actually.
Okay. And then after that, we just were like walking around, right? We were just walking around because we didn't know like if they were gonna come back out or what. So, I think after that didn't we? You ran into Cameron, right? Was this after that or?
Yeah, it was like a long time after because for
No,
like
not really because my phone wasn't dead.
it was like probably a good hour
30
after.
minutes, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, whatever. And like 30 minutes.
Oh, because
to an hour.
We stood a while at the go-karts. Oh, we forgot to say, when we were at the go-karts, they had their like hands out and stuff, and so we touched Nash, and we were so close to touching Cameron, but he put his hand down, and I got really mad, and I started screaming at him.
Yeah,
it was really
like,
funny, actually.
We have footage of it. So I'm gonna have to like try to get this probably at the end of the video. So I'm awkward. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, and what happened was I had to basically like climb on top of a railing because there was a railing, and it was pretty high off of the ground of the go-karts, so you had to like lean in to touch them. And you know how Hayes is like 13? Well, his arm was literally so short, so like he touched maybe 3 girls, because then we got finally like it clicked. We were like, oh, we really have to get into this like.
So we probably would have fallen in if we went any further in, because I was like literally my thighs were on the railing, and I kicked the girl behind me. And so when we were on the railing, these rude butt people would come around and tap your back and tell you to get down. And I was like, I'm not getting down. I am gonna touch them. So
yeah.
Okay, and so what I was saying, so like probably maybe an hour later, because we were at the go-karts for a while, I saw Nash in a crowd of girls. Like literally I just saw his head, so I ran after them. And when I was running at the crowd, I happened to bump into Hayes. So when I bumped into Hayes, I wrapped my arm around him and I started like screaming his name, and he just looked at me and he was like, and I couldn't like process it enough to like take a picture with him or of him or anything. But yeah.
Yeah, and while like she was with Hayes, like our parents right before the event were like, you can't split up, you have to stick together. And then what happened was she saw her favorite and I saw my favorite, so like it's an instinct to just like run after them. So I saw Cameron, and he was at like an arcade game like with basketball, like you throw, yeah, okay. And I saw him there, and I was like one of the first girls, well actually I wasn't, I lied. I was one of the last girls there, but since I was the one person, like I didn't have to worry about holding on to anybody else's hand. I just pushed through all the girls and everything, and the back that was on my back kept getting stuck in between people, and then I finally made my way to the very front, and then Cameron started like going, move back, so I was like, no, I'm not moving back, so I just like went closer, and I screamed, you're sexy, and he looked down at me, and he laughed and smiled, and I was kind of embarrassed, but I was like, at least he looked at me and noticed me, so, yeah.
And then after this, I think probably after this, we were both actually in a crowd with Nash, and she was right next to him, and she hugged him, and she like wrapped her arms around him. You can tell this part.
Okay, so like I saw Nash. Well, we were like right there, and I just had like, I had so much adrenaline, so I just like was elbowing through all these girls to like get right up next to Nash, and I eventually did. And then I wrapped both my arms around him, and then I let go with one to hold my bag string on me so like nobody like ripped it off me while I was in the crowd. And then Nash like was almost to the curtains where they go behind to get backstage where nobody else is allowed, and then Nash was like, you have to let go of me, and I was like, no, but I love you, or something like that. Yeah, I said that, and then he just like looked down at me and he laughed, and I was just so embarrassed. Like I did so many embarrassing things there in front of them. I'm glad they're probably not gonna remember.
While she was doing that, I like grabbed his shirt because it was the only thing I could reach, because I was actually behind a bunch of people. So I'm not a lot taller. I was a little taller than the girls that were in front of me. So I just reached over them and I grabbed his shirt, and that's the only thing that happened in that crowd. So
yeah, it was actually a really scary crowd. That was one of many. There were so many. Like I heard a story about a girl that was pushed down to the ground with Taylor, and that's a reminder that he had a broken arm. So yeah, and
so a little while after this, we were. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. So a little while later, because my phone was still alive, both of us went to like by the candy shop in the place. You don't know where that is, but like there's a candy shop in there, and we were by it. It was kind of like near the entrance, so we were standing there, and then there's like this stage thing. Really, it was just the floor barricade things around it, and so we were in the crowd, and we were like by the candy shop, and there's like windows, so you could see through the windows onto the stage, and like Taylor and Dylan were on the stage, and they started like performing and stuff. So I recorded that, but like my pictures and stuff are all gone. Okay, anyways, so so we were watching their like first performance of Buck Wild, and it was like really amazing. And so we ran to like Taylor was like getting off the stage thing, and so we ran all the way to like where we could get a better view. It was really amazing. And then all went on the stage, and they were like, we were like screaming and stuff, so they were like shh, and yeah.
So yeah, we were one of the first people to see Taylor's first performance of Buck Wild, so swag on us. So I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think of what else happened.
Well, we met Chad, and when I was like near Chad, oh god, another embarrassing thing. Why? Okay, so I told him that he made beautiful children.
I was
wasn't lying,
but I looked hideous. I was like crying in it.
She was, and I had like a half-face selfie with him, because like,
oh
yeah,
we also met Carter's mom in the beginning.
Yep, that was literally like probably 20 minutes after we got in.
met Aaron's mom and Aaron's dad.
Yeah.
So
that's basically all that really happened, because
stuff happened with me.
What?
I hugged Nash.
Oh yeah.
And then so when they were on the bumper car, there's bumper cars there, obviously, and so I was up close by the gate, and literally the whole time I was screaming Nash, and he looked at me like twice, I think, and it really got his attention. So just some advice: keep screaming their name, even if they look at you. Keep screaming their name, because that's what I did. And then at the end, he like jumped over to me, and I hugged him, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love you!" And then like there's a picture of it on the Magcon website. Yeah, so swag.
More advice, like if you guys are trying to like go to Magcon, what me and Katie did was we made literally a PowerPoint with information about them and information about the event so that our parents knew more about it, instead of just like wasting like hundreds of dollars on a tour that they know nothing about. At least they'll know more information about it and know that like you really like love them and that they really mean a lot to you. That's really what persuaded our parents to let us go.
Oh, and also like at the end, really close to the end, it was like 30 minutes before it was over. We were like kind of in the back of the place, and they were like walking through, so we were like blocked just by benches. Of all things, benches. And there was security guards, like there was some here, and so like they were all walking by, and we were like freaking wild, let me tell you. There was girls behind us pushing, and so they came out, and I was like screaming at them. And I don't think the first time they went out we touched any of them.
No, because when they walked out, they were kind of like stayed in the middle away from everybody.
Yeah. And then like they came back out the other way, and they stayed on like our side of it. And so like I touched Sean, and me and Dylan did like a handshake thing. It was really cool. And then I touched Carter, and we literally kind of assaulted Hayes. I held his hand and tried to pull him back, like not thinking I would hurt him or anything. I don't think we did.
Probably not.
But no, we probably didn't. But yeah, that was a good thing. And so like when Matt came out, literally we pushed the benches into the security guard, and she almost sat down because of the force of us.
Yeah, it was really scary.
And then they started pushing the benches back, so I got the benches pushed into my thighs, and it hurt really bad. Oh, and also a thing, this is random and out of the blue, but it just reminded me, but like when I was in this crowd with Cameron right there, I was literally about to touch Cameron's arm, and then some girl elbowed me in the eyebrow, and I had a bruise for a month.
Yeah, I had a scratch on my face from the Nash mob when I hugged him. It was a scary mob, actually. It still
hurts sometimes. But anyways, so yeah, that's basically everything that happened. Like, that was really good. That was like my life.
It was from 8 at night to 12 p.m. And just a reminder, we were from Connecticut, and we had to drive to New Jersey, and with like the New York traffic and everything, it was literally like 6 hours to get there. But the drive back was like a lot better because it was like 1 in the morning.
Oh,
so.
And also some advice. We literally, well, this is really advice, but we literally didn't eat we ate breakfast. That was it.
That entire day.
And then the next day, I didn't eat until dinner.
Yeah.
And our parents were like, you gotta eat food or something. And I drank water and I play America.
She just said water.
That's how I say it.
I know.
And then me and Ash were twinning with our shoes. I just wore a random outfit. I wore literally a gray shirt and leggings and my red Vans. And so if you tell me you gotta dress up to get their attention, that's not true.
No. You don't have to dress up at all. There were girls there with like crop tops and shorts on, showing half their butt cheeks. Girl, that does not get them to notice you. You get noticed literally, like, they'll notice anybody. Like, really not that hard to get their attention. So, yeah. That's basically what happened, and I'm glad you guys watched this, and
you wasted 16 minutes of your life.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening to what happened, and don't give up on meeting them.
Because you will. We used to say all the time, oh, we're never going to meet them, or we're never going to encounter a celebrity.
Don't give up on that dream, and don't give up. Don't lose hope. Just keep believing in yourself.
Never say, like, oh, my parents won't let me, because our parents don't. We've never been to a concert in our life, and do you know how many times we've asked? A lot. So that fact that our parents took us to that when they don't really like take us, and they were like, oh, they're just people, why would you want to pay to meet them?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it was like $100 for 2 tickets, so yeah. That was.
But thank you for watching this, because you just wasted so much time.
17 minutes of your life now.
Alright.
Have a good life, and good luck on meeting them.
Yes.
Hope you meet your favorite. You're like,
why is it still going?
It's
like, stopped.
You're like,